One of the best things, I think, is getting people involved through their local estates, through tenants' organisations. If they've got a friend who's already doing something, and often it's that friend that says, well, come on, come along with me. They know somebody there and they'll have a go. And once they get into something, they very often really enjoy it and they'll come back again and again. So quite often it's having that initial contact really through somebody they know.
One of the things we've ensured that we do is actually using local resources to get the message across. Because I think the tendency has always been to think up initiatives and literally try to run with it without actual in-depth consultation with the local community. And also by engaging the young people, we're trying to reach to divert from crime and social behavior. Actually taking the message forward, I think is actually quite positive.
I think for us it's been all about mainstreaming. Groups that are termed hard to reach groups, they're actually our majority population in the city because of levels of deprivation and because of our large black and minority ethnic community. So for us the message has been about mainstreaming.
Well, what we have done, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, is in terms of partnership work to reach young people, we've now established quite a good partnership with one of our secondary schools, Capital City Academy, which at one time was a school that was failing and was renamed, and there's been quite a lot of investment put into the school. Now we established a teen area in our lead library, Willesden Green Library. So what we did is we invited the students to come into the library and they filled out a questionnaire. We then kind of collated all the results and we updated them as well. So we did a display of the results and we sent them the results as well. And much of what they said contributed to the teen area that we built up in Willesden Green Library. And from that, I would say we've invited them to take part in other events in libraries. So we've had poetry workshops, and we're going to do a partnership project next year in January with heritage services. So it would be libraries, heritage services, and this particular school, Capital City Academy.
I think a lot of what actually works is getting them focused on something they like. It's sort of like if somebody's into football, it's actually getting them focused onto the football. And other things such as gym, a lot of them love going to the gym, pushing weights, etc. So it's trying to get them focused on that, and then they do actually seem to enjoy that a lot more, especially one-on-one. Yeah.
I mean, variously we've had in the past, the stats are quite amazing. There's been 30% reduction in the number of young people reappearing before a magistrate. I mean, these are stats from the Met Police and the youth team as well. So truancy levels have reduced significantly. First-time offenders, numbers of first-time have reduced as well. And the numbers of persistent offenders have also reduced. And we would like to think that a lot of these initiatives that we're rolling out there are actually contributing to that as well.
There's been some excellent work in Newham in terms of evaluating and measuring the kind of outcomes of some of the projects, and it's really, really good to use that when you go back to some of the partnerships. Some of these events and activities cost money, to put them on and to pay the staff and so on, and it's really good to be able to say, here's some hard evidence that this project was successful, and it's capturing that data and those testimonials from individual people that is very, very powerful.
I've given away 40 information packs, so that's really good.
It's still early days yet, but I mean, the fact is general consensus here that we know that we can use sport and culture to actively engage the local community and also to gain other benefits as well, like improvements in education, the development of social and leadership skills amongst young people, providing employment routes for the young people as well, coach education, training and all that. So yeah, I think it's,
some new connections, some new contacts, and some things to follow up later.
I think, well, I've mentioned a little bit about it already. I think what I've got out of it so far is this morning Newham presented a workshop on the importance of not just how you evaluate and sustain a project. But I think the whole process of getting together a team of people from different backgrounds, so different organisations, so in terms of how should I say it? So in terms of aiming projects at hard to reach groups, recognizing that it doesn't just have to be one body, it can be, you know, a combined group of bodies working together, but also the importance of having a toolkit, how you build up the information, the profile about the group that you are targeting, and leading on from that, how you actually sort of develop it, the use of volunteers, finally reaching to becoming successful, but then how you sustain it. So I think the model that they put forward, I think it was called the NEAT toolkit, N-E-A-T, very, very useful, and I'll certainly take back a lot from that workshop.
Yeah, today I've got a lot of ideas, a lot of things to obviously to take forward, which can help me and progress. Met obviously a lot of people, and it's sort of like good to obviously change ideas and change information.
I think these sort of events are absolutely critical. It's so easy when you're a kind of working in the town hall, it's so easy to get isolated and not be aware of what's going on elsewhere. And to be honest, you know, just learning what I've learned in the first hour or so this morning, if we can put 10% of that into practice, it's time very well spent.
I think it's quite useful, I mean, because a lot of local authorities work in isolation, running out their programs, and I think it's quite nice to actually see what others are doing in other areas and then see how we can learn.
What I felt in the introduction when the Minister was talking is I began to worry that it really was going to be very much sport focused. Now I'm from libraries, and as I've mentioned, we did put in a bid that wasn't successful. I think probably what would have been nice is that it says sport and culture, but it just seems as if the focus was very much on sport. In terms of the workshops, I have been to another workshop which featured the arts service, Eastbourne Authority, and that was interesting, but it's just, I suppose, it would have been nice, I think, also you felt that you were surrounded largely by sports people, and nothing against that, but it would have been nice to have seen representatives from other service divisions within the local authorities. And I suppose in terms of the presentations that we've seen, the video presentation, the cinema presentation, again, a lot of it was very sports based, and it would have been nice to have seen something with libraries. Having said that, it might be that there hasn't been a successful library authority who has managed to get beacon status, but it's just that it's sports and culture, and just would have liked to have a little bit more, not that it was totally dominated by sports.
Yeah, I found it very useful today. Again, like my colleague said, it'd be good to speak to people who are doing a similar sort of job to myself, who are actually frontline dealing with the kids, etc. And apart from that, it's been brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Possibly more time for workshops and questions, because I know the one that I was in overran it because it was just so interesting.
Possibly, I like to think more publicity for it would be nice. Obviously, the list of delegates bit out. We expected more people to be present today. Personally, that's what I thought was going to happen, but it doesn't look like it's on a smaller scale. Because I think that in the UK we have 8 big boroughs, and in London alone we have 33 local authorities boroughs. So definitely there's a lot more that others can learn from today. So yeah.
I think things like this is quite good to get feedback from people as they're here. I'd build this into future events.